Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Law Creations. Saturday evening, and I have some time, so I came down to my studio and I figured I'd start painting my Universal Monster Marx mummy, the living mummy. And I figured I'd do a video. I had said I would do a little series on painting these guys up, and I already started. And I don't want to go through the whole process. I don't want to bore people. Sometimes I run out of things to say, but we're going to do a video here, and I'll show you my approach to actually what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So what I'm doing is starting with a walnut wash over this guy. He's already gray, so I consider that already primed. I took some soap and water to this guy and some hot soap and water and just cleaned him and got off any residue or so the paint would take nicely. I'm using a Createx from Testors wash. I picked it up at Hobby Lobby cheap some time ago. And I'm just going over the whole figure with the wash. And then I take my finger and the raised pieces, I just wash the wash off. Yeah, wash the wash off. So my main goal is to capture the dark areas in crevices like this. So, and then I just go like that. And so on and so forth. So it's a little unique than what some people might do. They might end with a wash, but I'm probably going to do both. I'll start with a wash and I may end with a wash. But the reason why I'm starting with a wash is because when I apply my ivory and my grayish green, I want the contrast of the paint. So that's my whole reason. I'm not an expert painter by any means, but my main goal is realism, and that's the end goal that I strive for. My process may be different than a lot of people, but the end result is realism. And what I'm looking for by applying the brown is like a dirty, aged kind of look. I don't want him to look like he was just freshly wrapped. I'm looking for an aged look, so like he was buried thousands and thousands of years ago, or maybe even longer. So I just take the brown, and as you can see, what I'm doing here is I just lightly go over, and then I take my finger and I go over the area that I just did, and then if you can see, the brown gets in the crevices and the raised areas stay gray. And if it doesn't work out, you just come in a little more and you do the same. So I already started doing the back, if you can see there. I hope the camera's catching it. I can't really see my camera angle or the focus. I hope it's catching it well. So let's continue on. Let's paint, and we'll just talk about some things. So what got me into collecting action figures is I've always collected action figures as a kid. I remember my favorite Christmas being when I got all Star Wars figures. I'm an adult now, and I'm an adult collector. I'm probably more of a customizer, crafter than I am a collector. But I do collect certain lines. I do like certain figures. When it comes to collecting, I'm not a completist. I won't buy something that doesn't interest me just to complete something. Obviously, unless it's like a Build-A-Figure, which I've never completed a Build-A-Figure from like Marvel Legends. 1/18 scale is really where my heart's at and what I love to collect and customize. I do have some Marvel Legends figures, but they're not my main source of collecting. So, but back to what led me to collecting, what led me to crafting, and because I'm 50 years old, and this is what I do as a hobby. This is what I do in my spare time, whether it be painting, whether it be dioramas, whether it be custom action figures, whether it be sculpting something, or just repainting something. This is what I do at the age I'm at, and what led me here was I hit a tough place in my life. in regards to just having kind of a breakdown, and this was several years ago, and I was looking for a healthy outlet to deal with anxiety, to deal with just different things that people face, and I'm not exempt. I hit some really bad. I was in a bad place, and so then I started drawing and focusing on being creative, and I can't tell you how much that has helped me. So it went from drawing to back to my love for collecting and action figures, and then I saw how people do customs and dioramas, and then it eventually evolved into that. But the reason why I do it is it's very therapeutic for me. It's a place and it's a hobby and a habit that is a positive reinforcement in my life, and it's something I can be proud of. It's something that gives me confidence that something I can do fairly well, and most of all, it takes my mind and my heart back to a simpler days when life was simpler, when the stress of life didn't factor as much as what it can as an adult, and between finances and working jobs and children and things just add up, and sometimes you just have enough and you have a breakdown, and that's where I found myself. I found myself really at the brink of a crossroad, and just trying to just reach a point where I got involved in something, and this for me, like I say, is therapeutic. It's my therapy. It's my place where I can come where it's silent, or if I want to put a movie on, or in a form, it's an escape for me, and it's something I love to do. It's a passion of mine, which is helpful as well, and most of all, it's a healthy habit, which is what we strive for to deal with our struggles. And I'm not saying everybody struggles. Everybody does a hobby for a different reason. Not everybody does it as therapy. Some people just do it to do it, and they love it. So, but for me, in my story, it's therapeutic. It's a place where it's free of criticism. It's free of stress. It's free of just letting my mind and my heart create and my imagination run wild. And a lot of you folks might do things for different reasons, but I tell you, if you struggle, if you reach a place in your life where you have anxiety, depression, whatever it may be, look to being creative. Look to something that you're passionate about, and give it a go. And I think you'll find that it is it's called self-medicating, I guess. A lot of people turn to drugs. A lot of people turn to alcohol. A lot of people turn to various different unhealthy aspects. Don't get me wrong. I like a drink every now and then. I'll have a drink with my wife, or after a long week at work, I'll have a drink. But you know what? I don't drink to self-medicate. I drink very rarely, and I don't do drugs because all that just leads to other problems. So what do? I create custom action figures. I paint. I make dioramas. I collect action figures. I watch nerdy movies, and that's what I do. That's how I deal with the stresses of life, the stresses of family life, and just life in general. But that's my whole reason why I do what I do. It's therapeutic, number one. Number two, I have a passion for it and I love it. And number three, it's and that's the reason why I make this community, is to let you folks know what a great hobby this is and what a great hobby it can be. And that's my whole purpose behind creating Law Creations and Friends, creating this YouTube channel. It's encouraging. It's to build a community with like-minded people that can encourage each other in the hobby and life in general, and just becoming social media friends. And that's what I aim for. And that's the whole reason why I do this channel, is to create a atmosphere and a community of like-minded people, and just to share the hobby, just to share your work on Law Creations and Friends, which I really appreciate everybody signing up. We're getting new members almost daily. We're almost at 250. Oh, we might even be over 250. We might be approaching 300, which is fantastic. And my YouTube channel hit 1,000 subscribers. I want to do a giveaway for that. I have to wait a little while to save a little bit of money so I can do a decent giveaway. I was going to do an eBay card, but I found out that I can't include international subscribers. And when I do a giveaway, I do want to include them. I don't want to exclude them. So we may do another giveaway to like Marauders, I think, because a lot of people love Marauders, and I can include my international audience. So this gives you an idea of the look I'm going for. Okay, it's just dirty look. You get the brown, kind of replicating dirt and age inside the crevices, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. And I gotta do the hand. Give me a moment. Let's do the hand. Let's see if we can get it on camera here. So just get it, and then I come in and I wipe it like that. Give you guys an idea. And we'll do the palm, and we'll do gotta do the underarm as well here. Do the palm. And there's no method to my madness here. It's just painting. It's nothing exciting. It's just painting. It's just getting a good coverage on the figure and getting the look you want. So he looks pretty aged, guys. That's the idea I'm looking for. I'm not going to do a pure white. I have an ivory here that I'm going to add. But first, I'm going to try to do his face like a greenish gray, a green gray. So let's try to do his face. Let me shake this up, and I'll put it in the palette, and we'll see what we can do here for a color. So back to my story of why I got involved in what I do, and it's not to everybody does things for different reasons, and that's my story. And it just gives me confidence in what I do. It lets me know I can do something well. So it helps me in that aspect of my life to do something really well. So here's the greenish gray. So we're just gonna go over his face with the greenish gray, and you can see how well the sculpt is, how it picks up the look on his face. My lighting's not the best, guys. I hope it's picking it up and you guys are seeing how well it picks up. And like I was saying, that's the whole idea of the sculpt. The sculpt really helps pick it up. Probably went a little bit too heavy on this side, but that's okay. I just wipe off what I don't want, and gives you an idea of what I'm looking for. I leave the underneath the chin a little bit dark. I'll highlight right here, kind of like where the light would hit, and that's what I'm looking for, to give you an idea. And we'll go over the whole piece of greenish gray, and we'll just go lightly as such, like this. And I'll be a little more deliberate with how I apply the ivory. But this just gives you an idea of dry brushing. It's a little bit of a heavy dry brush, but that's okay, especially here on the shoulder. But we'll just come in and wipe that away, and we'll come back like that. So that gives you the idea of painting and dry brushing and what I'm looking for. And you can see how it's all kind of uniform, and I'll break that up when I come in with the ivory. I'll do the ivory, and I can even come in again with the wash on the face to give you an idea as such. Okay, like that. But then you just wipe away, and it keeps the raised areas lighter. I usually use a cotton swab, but I didn't have any nearby, so I'm just using my hand. So there's his face there, guys. Hope you can see. Let me see if I can. But that's the idea. Just trying to get that aged look, and we'll do his hair like a nice dark brown up top here. I'll come in with a darker brown. The thing about these is, well, the mummy's not so bad because he's probably just mostly white and ivory, but the old black and white is, you don't really have a color scheme to go by in regards to the movies. So I'm really sorry about the focus. Trying to zoom in, trying to let you guys see, you know, what I'm looking at. But yeah, that's the idea. But my encouragement is to people is, you know, give this hobby a try. You know, create for yourself. Create action figures, customs, dioramas. I think my favorite thing to do lately is dioramas. I really enjoy making dioramas. I don't make very large pieces. I make smaller pieces. I make more money when I make custom action figures. But sometimes I just run out of ideas and different things like that. Well, let's come in again with the gray. But we're going to do a bit very light dry brush right here. Hope you guys can see that. Just trying to get that contrast. The light would hit the nose, hit the chin a little bit, hit the forehead, and just trying to keep the dark areas dark. That's the idea. And then coming in here as such, and just hitting the raised areas. This is a good spot right here. You can see. And then we'll come in with the ivory, and we'll hit the areas, you know, the wrappings and all that stuff. But this is my technique, guys. This is how I do it. I really enjoy painting. I think when it comes to customizing figures and diorama making, I think my favorite part is the painting, because the painting is what really makes the dios and the figures come to life. And especially in this case here. But I'm hoping you guys can see. I apologize if it's not the best lighting, and but that's my approach. This is a very early stage of my process. This is just an idea, an example. It'll be it's going to be several coats of different colors, and like I say, my main goal is to get that realism of the mummy, and that's what I'm shooting for. So let me try the ivory, and I'll show you the difference with the ivory. I'm not going to hit the face. I'll hit some of the cloth, and we'll see what it looks like. We'll see if we get some kind of contrast going on. And I may even use some dust powder I might even use some of that pigment powder. So let's apply some of the ivory here. So you can see a little bit of contrast coming through, and that's what I'm aiming for. But I hope this is somewhat informational. I hope I didn't bore you folks with my story of why I do what I do, but it's just to let you know my approach and why I do what I do. I'm not ashamed to say there's been points in my life where I struggled with different things, and I'm at a good place in my life now. If you're in a place where you're struggling, if you deal with anxiety, if you deal with depression, if you deal with, anything, any kind of mental struggle, I want you to know one thing: it gets better. It gets better with time. It gets better with learning how to deal with what you struggle with. And it's trying to find that healthy outlet so your mind and your imagination can be at ease and you can create a way. But that's where I'm at in my life. I love what I do. I'm in a good place now. I got I have a good support team. My wife is affectionate, is loving, and supportive of everything I do, especially when it comes to my hobby. She don't collect or do anything like that, but she thinks what I do is very cool, and it's something I should be proud of. So I have a good support group, but I just want to encourage you guys that it does get better. It will get better. Life has a way of turning around and for the better, and just try to keep a positive outlook and just try to enjoy yourself. Try to find something you love to do, whether it be go to the gym, whether it be play sports, whether it be customizing action figures, just whatever is healthy and brings you a good time. Okay, guys. So I think we'll continue this tomorrow. I probably bored you enough. If you made it this far, thank you very much. And I hope what I had to say is somewhat useful to anybody who's listening. I hope in some way it touches somebody to kind of move on and be strong in what they do and find something in life that they enjoy. And I'm doing what I love right now, so and just sharing it with you guys. And I appreciate you allowing me to share my hobby, my life, and my passion with you guys. Okay, you guys take care, and I'll catch you on the next video.